Hello. Okay, I can't actually hear myself when I say that twice, but it says you're live and then you're not actually live. Whatever. Okay, so this video is coming out a little sooner or than I'd prefer, I guess, because I just put out those other ones that nobody's had a chance to watch. The audience will catch up, right? But this company only gives you 15 days to return instead of 30 or whatever, so I'm kind of under a little more crunch. And I still have other ones that I need to exchange perhaps and blah, blah, blah. So I may do a follow-up in a couple weeks where it's more of a cumulative boot review, more of a compare contrast than just an unbox. Now, this, of course, is not this boot. This is just to hold the flaps of the box down, but that's the Thursday President boot. In the previous video, I already got one comment saying, how dare you compare the President boot to the Grant Stone boot? Well, I'll mostly be comparing the Grant Stone boot to the Oak Street boot today, probably too, and less of the Thursday boot. So cool your jets, whatever. Okay, so I'm trying to. This is printed, but you can barely see it. So, oh yeah, it's not going to show up very well. But that's the actual top of the box. Okay. Color 8, as I said in the thing. I don't usually go into specifics like that. It's the rest of the box is just blue. This time I'm doing that on purpose because, again, to compare, this is the crimson, okay, which we will call brown for all intents and purposes. Now, in the comments of the previous Grant Stone video, for those of you who watched it, or those of you who might watch it, or those of you who might go and look at the comments or the description, I had said that this, is called crimson, even though it's not really red and should be called brown, because there's other boots that are more ox bloody, that are more crimsony. Full disclosure, this is kind of another fake unboxing because I tried them on yesterday. Okay. Care instructions and Wherein leather card. Your shoes or boots have been handcrafted with the utmost care. Everybody says that. Okay. Using renowned Wherein leather. Undergoes 89 separate processes. Takes 28 days. Utilizes all 5 floors of the facility in Chicago. Over the past 100 years, very little has changed in this formula. Food grade beef tallow, cosmetic grade beeswax, marine oil, chrome salts, tree bark extracts, and naturally occurring pigments are contained. The mixture is then applied using heat, steam pressure, the hands of craftsmen, and time. This ultimately yields the soft, supple, and durable leather that is used for your shoes or boots. I guess some people don't like Chromexel leather for whatever reason. I don't like the shininess of it. Quite frankly, I think I said this way back in the original Thursday President boot was like, okay, a little too much glare for me. But then when I got the pull-up leather from the Oliver Cabell, I didn't really relate to the matte finish of that or whatever as much as some of the other boots. So sometimes I just like something better than something else. What do you want? Right. But Chromexel is probably like the most common leather you're going to find in these boots. If I'm not speaking out of term, somebody might come in and go, no, suede is actually more common or whatever. Suffice to say, like I said, there's like 6 boot makers who all make this stuff, and these are the only 2 that seem to have my size. Okay. Or 3. Care instructions: bottle of Venetian shoe cream, 100% horsehair shoe brush, 2 cotton cloths. These products are available from your local quality cobbler or our website. Clean the shoes or boots. Apply a small amount of Venetian and use your brush to get off the excess. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole card. If you're buying your boots, you'll figure it out. And there's 80 million how to care for your boots videos already, so I'm probably never going to do one of those. I'm not going to show my invoice, okay, but I will read the return, some of the return and exchanges thing, because this is part of the reason I have to really rush out the video, because again, returns and exchanges. Before you return or exchange, handle with care. While sizing, please be sure to keep the shoes or boots in as new condition, taking care not to scuff or heavily crease the leather or scratch the soles on a rough surface. I'm super careful, yay. We recommend evaluating fit on a rug or carpet, and they do not include a little carpet like the Grant Stone does, but they do include boot bags. So I guess you can use your boot bags maybe if you need to. While standing, but without bending the toe. Right. Put them on. Don't really walk around in them too much. Did that. Keep in mind, okay, this is where it comes to crunch. Our sizing recommendations are based on how shoes and boots will fit once broken in. Most leather will stretch with wear, so the fit should be snug, but not uncomfortably snug when new. Also note that natural undyed leather will darken and patina with wear and exposure to sun. If you are unsure of sizing or have another concern, please feel free to call, which I will be doing in a few hours when they're awake or open or whatever, because I followed the instructions on their website, which said true to size, and got the 7, which is pretty much the same exact size as the 6.5 of the Grant Stone, which told me to size down. And now Grant Stone is telling me this is the wrong size and I should be sizing to 7, which means I should need a 7.5 in this, which is the first time I've ever, or maybe the second time I've ever sized up. I don't know. And again, how this how this one fits loose and this one fits tight, even though this one is like bigger by volume, by sight, I don't know. But they're telling me these are the wrong size and I need to send them back. And I don't know why these fit sloppy now when the only thing I did with them was put shoe trees in them. Unless that has caused an indentation in the footbed or something. I don't know. But I'm also inclined to think that my Truman boots might be a little on the small side, but the 2 with the cap toe stitching are the only ones where I think it's going to be an issue because it's extra rigid there with the extra embellishment or whatever, reinforcement. So I think I'll be, I don't know, hopefully be able to power through with those because that leather is a lot thicker and going to be a lot less malleable. And we'll see how it goes. So maybe I will order the new leather that just, I forget the name, Coach Rambler. I might look at those and try and get a bigger size and see how that goes. But of course, if I order from Truman Boots, they won't be here for 2 or 3 months. So hold your breath. Okay. Please include this invoice in the box with the table below completed. Customer is responsible for the cost of shipping the exchange pair back to Oak Street. We will send the new pair with complimentary shipping. Okay, well, if I ordered what's supposed to be the right size and you send me what is technically the wrong size, I shouldn't be on the hook for shipping, which is part of the reason why I'm going to be calling them. Because either get me a shipping label or give me a bigger discount than the 10% coupon that I didn't even get to use on this order, you know, double that or triple that or something and make it. We'll see how that call goes. Or if they just typically, like what the Drew's boots, like you send me the wrong size and then I'm stuck with the shipping, you're dead to me. Okay. Kevin O'Leary in the house, right? So hopefully that's not the case here because, you know, I don't, you know, I don't want to not get boots in the future if I think they're going to be good boots or whatever. But if I'm just losing money, then it's not cool. Returns and exchanges will be accepted only if they are sent within 15 days of the delivery confirmation date. A full refund, excluding the shipping, unless complimentary, will be made. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. If it's in the same condition, so yes, it should be in the same condition because Make sure to only try shoes on briefly on a clean carpeted surface. Well, that should have been up at the top because we already did that. Shoes showing crease marks, scuffs will not be accepted, right? Shoes must be returned in new unworn condition. The box must be included. Okay. And so they come with a bit of paper. I guess you could stand on the paper instead of the thing. And for some reason, they're telling me not to scuff them, but then they ship the one in the bag and the other one not in the bag. So whatever this is on here, I didn't do this. This is already scratched. I didn't do that. Otherwise, yeah, they're not creased. They're not anything. But, and we got the wrong foot, but they're pretty much the exact same size. So like I said, a 7 of theirs is a 6.5 of theirs. And the toes look almost exactly the same, which they look a little wider, but the length of the toes, again, I'm pretty much all the way here, like already. So that's what these people are telling me is too short. And why I was able to order shoes for decades without ever having these kind of problems, I don't know. Now all of a sudden I go to spend extra money and I have problems. Okay, because these cost, like I said, almost $100 or so more than these, which is kind of ridiculous for me to spend right now. And I really don't like that it's got this nick in here that I didn't put in here. But okay, so we've got the all eyes thing that I'm always complaining about, that the boots have these speed hooks that I don't really care for. But it still has leather laces for some reason. Instead of, well, they're not necessarily dress boots, but they're dressier than some of the other boots. And I don't even think they came with a second pair of laces. I think this is pretty much it. And the heel pad is not the same foam padding as that. It's pretty much just leather. So you really do have to kind of break them in. So I don't know what they're going to advise about that when I talk to them, how much that should break in, how much toe room I should then have. But as I said in the other video, comments or description or whatever, I looked at these on the website, and of course you've got the contrast stitching instead of the recessed stitching or whatever you want to call it. I looked at these on the site and I thought they were dark brown, when in fact you can clearly see they are burgundy, not brown. And of course, did I want burgundy boots? No. So I'm sending them back anyway, just because I already bought those Edward boots in the burgundy that I now have to exchange. And they were $200 less than this. So yeah, I'm definitely getting the cheaper ones now. And if I want to get burgundy again in the future, maybe I'll get these. But right now, I do not need burgundy boots that may not fit correctly. But these do have that contrast that the Edward boots don't have, because it was black through here. So I do like that. And they do have an actual day-night sole instead of our version of a day-night sole. So it has the little extra strip here, which again, oh no, he's gonna do it. The Thursday replicates. Okay. Even though that's not a day-night sole, that's a Thursday sole. So for those of you who care about that kind of thing, and you've got a stitching through here, and the day-night ones may have, well, this is a little bit worn down. Yeah, they have a little bit more, if I can get the light, there you go, definition on the, I think these poke out from the holes a little bit more instead of being totally recessed. These are a bit more recessed. So be annoyed that I just compared 3 different type of boots at 3 slightly different price ranges. Okay. Because I'm silly like that. And they do have some nails through here. No nails here. Some nails here. So why the Grant Stone has no nails, I don't know. I didn't really notice that in the previous video. So if you're watching the previous video and wondering why I didn't mention that there's no nails, maybe you'll see this and maybe you won't. And then you got this kind of curvature going on, which flat. At this point, will he keep having to reach back and do the Thursday curved? Okay. In case you didn't see it the first 3 times. Okay, so what do we got here? So we got this kind of heel stay or whatever you call it, and then you got double stitch back here and triple stitch up here. Double stitch along here, single stitch along here. So basically, you know, your basic service boot. I need to change the title slightly to put service in the title. I just realized that. Okay. So boot number 2. And we're getting their first looks at it together. If there's anything awry with boot number 2, I don't know. A little crinkling here in the tongue. So maybe somebody tried these on before I did. Or maybe it just came like that. I mean, this tongue's sticking up from where I showed inside. But this rawhide is not going to, I don't know, damage the tongue too badly, I hope. Okay, we got a little bit of a lip here. I'm just kind of peeling up, but it doesn't look like it's just cut a little loose. And then we have kind of a suede deal here, but not quite a suede, like not a super ton of texture, but the thickness of the thing, well, the big difference being with the granite stone, of course, same as Thursday, is that it was lined. Okay, so we don't have a lining. The lining, I come to understand, is more for structure to make the leather stay firm longer than pretty much anything else. So doesn't necessarily really need it. It's not really there for this reason or that reason. People complain that the lined boots can breathe less, so I wish I would have known that when I was talking about lined boots way back when I did the Captains versus the Oliver Cabels and all that, which was maybe 1 or 2 videos a long time ago that hardly anybody watched, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean, overall, you know, and it doesn't have the, like I said, it doesn't have the foam heel padding. It has the leather. So it's your basic boot. Like I said, though, the wrong color for what I thought I was getting, slightly, ever so slightly. And the fit, again, maybe a little short for what my toes desire. I don't know. Overall, the eyelets slightly different, the stitching slightly different. This one, I didn't look at the welts, did I? Obviously, there's a full welt around it, unlike some brands. I didn't notice any like significant. The stitching on these is a little more I don't know, what do you call that? Wider, I guess. Less holes. So however you want to rate that. But I imagine it's fine. I don't know why more holes in the welt would be automatically better. And cosmetically, I actually probably like the look of this better than the busier stitching. So take that how you will, personal preference. This has that storm welt or whatever going up kind of the side a bit. I didn't really talk about that in the last video because I didn't really notice it, I don't think. Whereas this is just straight down into the underseam or whatever. So what else should I talk about? I don't know. We're already at 20 minutes. And like I said, that seems like long enough because I don't know who makes it all the way through a 20-minute video where I'm complaining about colors and sizes. And like I said, I'll have to do a follow-up in a couple of weeks and see how it goes and all that. So questions and comments, you know, yada, yada, yada.